Hey guys, for all 8 of y'all subscribed to my channel, well, I'm back. I've been gone for a little bit and had a lot of work. I've also been trying to research a little bit of ileostomies, ostomies, things like that, because I want to take a different path. I want to kind of explain a little bit of what it is, why it's done, for people that are curious, people that have a friend that's going through it, if you're going through it, or you found somebody that has an ileostomy, colectomy, or urostomy. Now, I'm going to be looking down because I do have notes. Stop it. Okay. Because I do have notes, so that way I won't go, too far off. So, to start off, what's an ileostomy? It's basically a way for your waste to come out. You may get it because you had some kind of trauma, you had some kind of illness. Those are the two main, well, really the only two ways you can, may need one. Now, there's 3 types of ileostomies though. There's one that's the end ileo, there's a loop ileo, and then there's the ileoanal pouch. All 3 are being used with the small intestine, but they kind of work a little differently. The first one is they'll take most of it, if not all, of your colon, your rectum, or maybe even your large intestine, and they'll bring out your small intestine through the side of your through your stomach, on the side of your stomach, and they'll make the the stoma and everything opening. That way your waste comes out through there. The second one, which is the loop one, basically what they'll do is your small intestine, they'll make a cut and they'll loop it, so there's an opening and they'll loop it, but you're still connected completely to everything else. So, and again, it works the same way, through the opening. It's stitched onto the side of your belly, not stomach, your belly, and your waste comes out through there. Now, the difference is that this one, since you're still connected to your large intestine, through the rest of it, food sometimes goes through, and it feels weird. I have a lupus ileostomy. I mean, I haven't really had to, poop through my rectum in a bit, but when it does go through, it's pretty weird. I lost, it's been years. Anyways, that one's reversible, and that's the most common one in a way, because it's reversible. Because you'll stick with it for a little bit, and then once the wound is healed and the doctors believe that you're okay to start again, they'll connect you again. The last one, the one I'm guessing they just started with it, is more recent or newer, is the ileoanal pouch. What happens here is your large intestine is completely removed, in most cases. Then they make a pouch out of your small intestine. You still have, and here's where it goes a little different. There's one where you get a cut through the side of your stomach, your belly, and you drain it through a straw. You have a plug, and when you feel that it's full, you open it and it drains out to a bag. And there's another one where they attached the ending to your rectum, so you have like a regular bowel movement, but instead of working like, well, I won't say normally with your large intestine, since it soaks up water, you have a firmer stool. This one's more watery because it's in the ileo and it's a small intestine. That one pushes out the water, if it makes any sense. So those are the 3. Now each one of them has their goods and their bads. Like with the first 2, it's something you have to get used to it, because you're not used to wearing a colostomy bag all the time. So you have to get used to the changing. If something happens, carrying supplies with you, that works. With the last one though, you have a little more little things that may happen because you're still connected. So with that, you may have a lot of diarrhea, because again, you may have a lot of diarrhea. You may have anal soreness, rectum soreness, whichever you want to call it, because of the same thing. Since it's not used to the consistency and something new, it's gonna get irritated, and it just happens. You'll get used to it. You'll get the hang of it with the foods that you eat and everything, but it's still gonna be sore at the beginning, and you're gonna have to go to the restroom a lot. But again, that's just with the first one. Let's see. Now, what did I put? Okay, some of the foods that may make you, well, give you side effects, like make you gassy: beans, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, onions, eggs, and carbonated drinks. Now, what's beans, eggs, onions, and egg? Oh, I already said eggs. Beans, eggs, cabbage. That's the one I was trying to say. Those will make it smell bad. Carbonated drinks just basically gonna be, baggy, gassy, But the other four foods that I said, that will make it smell bad. So keep, cut it down on those. Let's see. Oh, one key important thing to remember is that if you're getting an ileostomy, food is being pushed out quickly, so you won't retain all the medication, all the nutrients, anything of that. So at times you're going to be deficient in certain things, or if you take a medicine, it's going to be pushed right out sometimes. If that's the case, if you get prescribed anything, try to find the fast dissolving, or if it's in powder, if it's in pill mode, or if they can find it to you in liquid form, that'll be the best options for you. Why? Because again, I had experiences where I'll take Tylenol and I'm emptying out my bag and I see a white thing and I'm like, oh, there's the Tylenol, there's the pill. Not to be nasty, but it happens. So if you can talk to your doctor, tell them, hey, I have an ileostomy, this and this, I need some kind of fast acting medicine that dissolves quickly, even if it's like for women, if you need some kind of birth control, try to suggest to get something along that path, because if not, you may end up pregnant, because your body's not gonna retain everything. Being that said, another thing that you have to be keen on is, if you have an ileostomy, you might be B12 deficient. Now for this, you have to get a blood test, and they'll tell you yes you are, no you're not. Now this is important because, let's see if I remember correctly, because there's some things. Alright, it's important because B12 plays a huge role in keeping your brain and nervous system healthy. So if you find yourself stumbling, losing balance, memory loss, sorta, these are some symptoms, but you need to go to a doctor, get a blood test, and then they're going to tell you yes or no. Now, these are other symptoms you may get. You may be extremely tired, you have a lack of energy, breathlessness, feeling faint, irregular heartbeat or palpitations, headaches, loss of appetite, and hearing sounds from inside the body instead of the outside. Like, you start hearing your heartbeat. That's not a good sign. If you experience anything like that, go straight to the doctor, hospital, try to get that settled because of that, because it's important for you to have this. Now, this way, it's usually, you'll know what's going on. Medication. I mean, really, it's not medication. You can take supplements, B12 supplements. I'm taking a couple of them. I got it from Walmart, and they quick dissolve. Like, you put them in your mouth and they're already gone. So it has helped me out with my memory. Tiredness, I will say yes, helped me out with that too. Let's see. Some things that might happen when you have an ileostomy are obstructions. They're painful. They're worrisome. If you have no activity in your no output for more than 6 hours, and you have cramping and nausea, you have a blockage. Go to the hospital and let them take care of it. They will show you certain ways for you to, get it unclogged and, the blockage gone, and you can work on it yourself. So if it happens again, you can try to, remedy it without having to go to the hospital, wait in line, especially now with the whole COVID thing. It helps you out. Some things are, you can massage your stomach, your belly, trying to like help ease the food out. You can take a warm shower. Always stay hydrated and avoid any kind of solids, because you're just basically compacting on top of it, and that's not gonna help. Um, I touch on the drink plenty of liquids because, again, and I'll emphasize it, the ileo, which is the small intestine, pushes out water. So a lot of the times your output is watering and you'll get dehydrated. So drink plenty of liquids. Plenty of liquids. And I mean, it happens because of that. The large intestine is what soaks up the water, which would make your stool hard. When you go to the restroom and you're pushing, that's because the large intestine soaks up the water. The small intestine doesn't. The small intestine just pushes it out. So drink plenty of liquids. Let's see. Oh, and it also helps you avoid kidney stones, or worse, kidney failure. You don't want none of that, because in dialysis, oh no. Anyways, never had it, but thank God. Now, another thing that you might have will be rectal discharge. What does that mean? The rectum makes a little mucus type of like gooey substance that helps it, push out any stool. That way it doesn't hurt itself, scrapes, annual fissures, things like that. Whenever you have the surgery, at times parts of the rectum remain, and that's going to create that mucus regardless of it. So you're going to have it. It may be uncomfortable, it may feel weird, but it's totally normal. That's your body working. Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay. Oh, it's a really popular one for people that had just recently had the surgery. You may have something called a phantom rectum. It's kind of like a phantom limb. You live 20 years with an arm, and for whatever reason, sadly, you lose it. There's people that still have a phantom limb, so they feel an itchiness, they feel it twitch, they feel something even though the limb isn't there. It's the same thing. I used to find myself waking up in the morning, going to the restroom, and sitting down. I don't need to. Why? Because, I don't sit down and go to the restroom. I have the ostomy, so I just pull it out, dump it, and go. But because of the phantom rectum, it has that. That's really not such a like a problem. It's more like a sensation. But that's one thing you might go through. Let's see. Some of the stoma problems you may have is irritation around the skin of the stoma, which is very common, because especially when you go to sleep, sometimes you may end up falling asleep on your back. Your stool just sits around the ring, and it'll irritate it. Let's see. Your stoma may act weird. It may prolapse. It may come out too much. It just depends on what's going on or what happens, that you need to keep an eye on it. If your stomach's gonna change a couple of weeks after you get out of the hospital, but after that change, it's gonna stay the same way. It's only gonna change if you have something going on with you. If there's a blockage, if there's something wrong, if something collapsed inside, if something did you wrong, if you're irritated, it's gonna change according to what's going on. So you always keep an eye on it. And you should know your stomach. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. These are some of the few key points that you need to consider. Now, one thing I didn't touch. Activities. Well, after you have your surgery, you can go back to normal for your normal activities, as in working out, going to work, and even have intercourse. Now, each one of them, take them with a grain of salt. Be careful. Do not overdo it. Do not stress your body too much, because you can have a hernia. And I've never had one personally, but they look like they suck. So keep talk to your doctor. You know your body, so you know how much you can push it. So please do not push yourself too much. Let's see, what else? Oh, well, that's it basically. I'll start making. I'll start. I already started looking up things for the new one. I'm gonna show love to to the colectomy ones, to the urostomy ones, because of, they're part of the same gastrointestinal system. So just in case if you meet somebody or you want to know more, hey, I'm here to help. All right, guys, yeah, be careful, be safe.